My name is Amy Morgan, and I am the marketing coordinator here for Pediatric Dental Associates and Orthodontics. And if you have a child ages 8 and above, you're definitely going to want to check out this video. We are going to be talking all about dental habits that you should be creating at home, as well as some other items that you will need to know for their oral health in this stage of life. First up, we have what might seem obvious to you, but we want to make sure that they are brushing 2 times a day as well as flossing once a day. Now, at this age, they should be developing the proper dexterity to be able to brush on their own. However, we do highly recommend that you go back and check and make sure that they actually brushed all of their teeth. I know for me personally, I even check on my 15-year-old son, and as well as I check in over the phone with my 21-year-old daughter. So these oral habits will have to be developed early in order for them to be able to be at that stage of life and still taking really good care of their teeth. So when they're brushing, you want to make sure that they're doing that 2 times a day for at least 2 minutes. And then you want to make sure that they are flossing at least once a day. And normally this is done at night. Now, as far as flossing, it doesn't matter if they're using an actual floss pick or actual string floss, but we do want them to understand the concept of flossing. So you want to make sure that they are making the C shape around each tooth. And there is a video that we have made that you can find in the comments below on the proper way to floss their teeth. Next on our list, we have to establish a dental home. You may have already found this dental home for your child or children within your home, and that is great. But if you have not, it is not too late to get started. You really want to make sure that you have a dentist that you have an established patient history with, so that for sure when you have an after hours emergency, you have someone to reach out to. I know in our office, we are not able to give advice or do any type of triage over the phone for anyone who is not an established patient of our practice. Next up, you really want to look at possibly changing the size of their toothbrushes. Now, this does not mean that they cannot have fun characters or if they're in that 8 to 12 range. But if they are brushing really well, you do want to graduate them to a larger toothbrush head. So you're going to be using the same type of toothbrush that you would use as an adult on this age of children, and that is perfectly fine. If they are still transitioning in that 8 to 10 age range, perfectly fine for them to still use character brushes. Actually, the smaller the brush head, the better the clean. But it is a lot easier for them to clean their entire mouth with a larger brush head once they start to get older. Next up, we want you to realize that they are going to be losing a lot of teeth between this age until around the time they are 12 to 13. So by now, most of them should have already lost their top 4 teeth and their bottom 4 front teeth. So that's 8 teeth out of the 20 baby teeth that they have that they should have already lost, and you should already see permanent teeth coming in from that. Now they are going to lose the other 12 between the ages usually of around 9 to 12. And that's going to come in a certain number of stages. Also, things that can affect that would be if they have an accident and they knock a tooth out, or if they have had previous treatment on some of those teeth, that they've had any cavities that cause them to have a filling or any type of crown. Sometimes due to that decay and the work that we've done on them in the office, they can lose those teeth a little bit earlier. And usually with the stainless steel crown, you're actually going to see those lost the soonest. And last but certainly not least, you want to make sure that you are checking in with them on their eating habits. We really want to make sure that you are limiting the amount of sugar and the amount of carbs that they are consuming. And it's really important at this age for you to be on top of that. They are starting to gain independence. They can get into the pantry. They will sneak snacks. They will do all of the things, especially if you have giant growing boys like I do. They're going to get into everything. So you really want to make sure that you are keeping an eye on what they are taking in as far as snacks. Now, obviously you have control over probably breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but what you may not be seeing are those secret trips to the pantry. So you really want to make sure that you are keeping up with the amount of snacks that they are consuming throughout the day. And in those snacks, as long as they're healthy, that's perfectly fine. Apples, bananas, all the fruits, things that do not end up actually having carbs that can be broken down into sugars. So your apples and bananas are going to be consumed and then be washed away with saliva fairly quickly. But your gummy snacks, crackers, Cheez-Its, and Goldfish, those can all stick to the teeth and start to break down into sugar, which then can start to cause cavities. So you really, really want to be mindful of what they are eating, especially during snack time and especially when you are not within their presence at the time. So this even includes like snacks after practices that another parent may provide, or snacks they're grabbing after school when maybe you haven't arrived yet. You really want to make sure that you are taking control of that, because this can truly help to limit the amount of cavities that they may end up getting. You can check out the links below if you want to find out anything more around these topics.